The judge has also allowed the cross-examination to involve the statement made by the late Brigadier Philani Ndlovu. Maumela says it's in the interest of justice to have the contents of the statement taken through the court for the first police witness to respond to those claims.
It will be in the interest of justice if the statement by Brigadier Ndlovu is read, and if the issues emanating from the statement by Brigadier Ndlovu that are deemed to be relevant for purposes of cross-examination by Advocate Mshololo are indeed raised, and everyone can hear for themselves how Sergeant Musia responds to questions revolving around all that. And as a result, it is the ruling of this court that allowing the statement to be read and allowing cross-examination based on the contents of the statement by Brigadier Ndlovu will be in the interest of justice.
Legal analyst Modidima Mannya joins us to help us unpack some of today's developments. I suppose for the first time, at least in some while, we're getting a sense, Mr. Mannya, of what exactly Judge Maumela is thinking about this case. And seemingly South Africans are not alone in this, with the sense of chaos, confusion that they see emanating from the case.
Yes, good evening, Kathy, and your viewers. But I think it goes beyond that, because there's this public pressure which is always brought to bear on police and other agencies, and in some instances, this type of situation is the product of that. Sometimes I think it's helpful to allow the police to do their work without them put under undue pressure.
After 8 years, can we talk about undue pressure realistically?
Not quite, and I'm not defending the police. I'm just talking about the existence of the two dockets. In my understanding, it's because there was dissatisfaction with the police investigation. I'm not saying police were right or wrong. I'm just saying often public pressure does lead us to this type of situations.
Surely there's a lot more responsibility for how we ended up here that an entity like the NPA would have to take, because we've moved from them looking at this evidence saying that it was a legal opinion that has no merit, to then saying once this trial is over, we could potentially see the beginning of yet another case that involves a completely different set of suspects and perhaps even witnesses.
Yes, which is something that I thought it's a bit problematic. But my understanding is that, as I indicated before, one of the charges against this very accused involves assault on two of the people in the house. And I have no doubt you will need to get at least one of them, or anybody who was in the house, to give evidence of that assault, and by extension of the murder, because the assault appears to have occurred in the context of the murder that occurred. So what I obviously am lost is if one of the people were to testify and that person has a right not to self-incriminate, I'm not sure how much will be used against that, of the evidence will be used against that person. I think we stand to see how the NPA is going to handle it.
When we look at what then the future of this case will be, Mr. Mannya, what are some of the things that you can foresee, at least legally, the hurdles that will still have to be jumped here?
Look, I'm not really thinking that there will be any serious hurdle beyond today. I think Judge Maumela has prevailed over everybody involved to allow the real substance of this matter to be ventilated. And I think that is what is critical in the current circumstances. Whether the accused will be found guilty or not, or whether if they are found guilty they will appeal up to the Constitutional Court, is neither here nor there. But I think at least for now we can derive comfort that the trial actually started in earnest. If you remember, the last interruption, Sergeant Musia was still under cross-examination by the counsel for the fifth accused. So at least now that cross-examination is proceeding and it will be concluded.
All right, and that is legal expert Modidima Mannya joining us on that particular story. Let me thank you for your time.